Good evening, friends. I hope everyone is safe and healthy and staying at home. And I hope everybody is fit. Guys, this is the first time I'm coming live from my clinic. So thank you all for your support and thank you all for joining this group. This is my first live session and I hope you guys are getting some benefit from this group. Today I'll talk about why did I start this group and how did I become a diabetes coach. So welcome, friends, and nice meeting you all, knowing you all. I am Dr. Anupam Ghose. I'm a diabetes coach, and today I'll share with you my journey. How did I become a diabetes coach? If you have any questions, please do ask me. I'll be very happy to answer those questions. So guys, first of all, let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Anupam Ghose. I've done my MBBS from Magadh Medical College, Gaya, which is in India, and I passed out in 2004. After my graduation, I worked in several hospitals in India, very renowned hospitals including AIMS. But I wanted to do something different, I was not interested in the clinical side and I wanted to do something different. This is how I started my journey in a corporate sector, and I started working with an organization named Indigene. That was my first corporate job. The role in Indigene was basically to write scientific documents. After that, I worked in several organizations, including pharmaceutical company. I was associated with Novartis as well for some time, and I worked with a very leading publishing group, that is Nature Publishing Group, for almost 5 years, and it was almost 15 years I was in the corporate sector. But during that corporate sector, although I was enjoying my job, it was completely different from the clinical side, and it was a great learning experience for me. But in 2017, after a random blood check, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and that was the turning point of my life. In medical college, we were taught that once you're diagnosed with type 2 diabetes or diabetes, it is a lifelong disorder and you have to continue with medication throughout your life. You can only control your diabetes and it cannot be cured, it cannot be reversed. So you have to continue with medication throughout your life. So while working with the Nature Publishing Group, I worked with several diabetologists in India and worldwide, and I had quite a good knowledge about diabetes, and I published almost 5 or 6 books while I was associated with Nature Publishing Group. So when I was diagnosed with diabetes, I contacted one diabetologist in India, and he advised me some medicine. I started taking those medication. During that conversation, I asked him, "Sir, how long do I have to take this medication?" And the answer was, "You have to continue with metformin at least lifelong." That was really very shocking for me, and I had no other option to continue with medication. I accepted the fact that I have to continue with medication throughout my life, and you can say I was almost depressed for quite a few days. I was not able to sleep for almost 4 or 5 days. Like, at this young age, how could I get diabetes? I was eating very healthy. As you ask most of the people, you ask them, what are you eating? So they will say, I'm always eating healthy. and I was doing the same. I was eating very healthy. I never indulged in junk food or outside food most of the time. On very rare occasion, I used to have junk food, or I used to eat outside. But I thought I was eating very healthy, and I started the medication. And for almost 2 weeks, I continued with the medication. After that, I suddenly developed severe headache, which lasted for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, almost 5 days. I was suffering from severe headache, and it was very difficult for me to concentrate on my work, and I was left with no other option than to stop the medication, because I knew that it was because of the medication I was having this side effect. I never had such kind of headache in my life, which lasted for 5 days. So I stopped my medication, but stopping the medication was not the solution, because I still had diabetes. And just to tell you guys, my HbA1c was 8.2 at that point in time, and my postprandial blood sugar used to be more than 180, 200, 210. That was the range. But I was newly diagnosed, and being a physician, I asked myself one question: can type 2 diabetes be reversed? So guys, that was the question which I asked myself, because I had stopped taking the medication, and that question led to several other questions. And my journey of being a diabetes coach started from there, with that one simple question. And I started researching. I started reading about nutrition, and I started reading more articles based on that question, and there were several answers which I was getting. So the first thing which I learned, that I need to understand what are the root causes of diabetes. So I asked another question: what are the causes of diabetes? So I listed down all the causes of diabetes, and I'll just name some of them. There could be several, but I just at that point in time, I found out some of the reasons, common reasons, which would lead to diabetes. And the most common and an important factor is high carbohydrate diet. Number 2 is sedentary lifestyle. Number 3, obesity. And there could be several other reasons, like lack of sleep, stress, alcohol, smoking, hereditary, and many other factors. So guys, this was the question which I asked, and I noted down all the factors. So the first point, that was hereditary, that was ruled out. Couldn't have been hereditary in my case, because none of my family members are suffering from diabetes till date. I was the first guy to have diabetes in my family, so hereditary is definitely ruled out. Next was obesity. Yes, I was obese. I was 89 kilos at that point in time. So I knew that I was obese, and that could be the reason. The second thing was sedentary lifestyle. Yes, I was leading a very sedentary lifestyle. I was not active. I was not playing any games. I was not doing exercise. I was just going to office, coming back, eating, sleeping, eating. That's it. That was my daily routine. So yes, I was leading a sedentary lifestyle. Excess carbohydrate. I was eating a lot of carbohydrate, as I mentioned. I realized, initially I was not realizing that I was having excess carbohydrate, but yes, I was eating a lot of carbs. Then other factors, smoking and drinking, which I was not doing that much, so that's also ruled out. So the three factors which I could find out was sedentary lifestyle, obesity, and excess carbohydrate. Now I knew that I cannot lose weight overnight. It takes time. Weight loss takes some time. So immediately what I could do is, I reduced my carbohydrate intake. I started being more active. I started playing golf every day. And in that journey, I was reading a lot of research paper, how can you reverse your diabetes? And I found a lot of interesting articles, a lot of diets, and I followed several diets. There are many diets like DASH diet, Mediterranean diet, Paleo diet, Atkins diet, and whatnot. I tried almost everything, but it was not working. It was not working in my case. Finally, after 4 or 5 months of my research, I found another diet that was ketogenic diet. And ketogenic diet basically is low carb, high fat diet, and which means you consume your carbohydrate or you keep your carbohydrate intake less than 5%, and your protein intake 20 to 25%, and the rest 60-70% is your fat. That was really very surprising for me because all these years what we had been taught that if you eat a lot of fat, you're going to be fat, you will have cardiovascular disorders, you will have all sort of problems, and you should eat very less carb, you should eat less fat. And this diet was exactly opposite of that. It was saying that you have to eat a lot of fat. That was very surprising for me. I could not believe that that would be true. So I started researching on ketogenic diet more and more, and my interest got developed in ketogenic diet when I read a lot of testimonials where people have reversed their diabetes following a ketogenic diet. And then I thought, I have nothing to lose. I'll try for 3 months or 4 months, and then if it doesn't work, I have nothing to lose. I'll start the medication once again and I'll continue. Everybody is doing that because I know many diabetic patients who are on diabetic drugs, and who when they were diagnosed, since then they are continuing with their their medicines, and they could never stop their medicines. And this is what we have been taught. Even the ADA guidelines, it says that diabetes is a chronic progressive disorder. So even the guideline says that, so we all believe in that. So I tried ketogenic diet, and I started the ketogenic diet. It was very difficult, guys. I'm telling you, it was absolutely difficult to start with, because I was a rice eater, I was a roti eater, I was a very sweet lover, and to stop all that, it was not easy. Anyway, I started with that. My wife was very supportive. She supported me very much, and I started my journey from there. Following a ketogenic diet was really very difficult, and in that process I was really reading a lot of articles about ketogenic diet, because I am a physician and I just can't believe anybody coming and saying that ketogenic diet works and this and that, because you find a lot of YouTube videos and people come and say anything and they claim anything. So although I have I've watched lot of YouTube videos, and many people who were saying that ketogenic diet works like anything, but I did my research at the same time. I was reading a lot of articles from PubMed, because I was from the research side, so I knew how to search and what keywords to use, and in that process I read hundreds of articles, and I found there were a lot of evidence with support that ketogenic diet helps in reversing type 2 diabetes. And I was doing my research, and at the same time I was following ketogenic diet, but I made a lot of mistakes because during that process I didn't know about healthy fat and bad fat. So I was consuming a lot of processed foods which were having a lot of unhealthy fats as well. So I made a lot of mistakes during my journey, and I ate a lot of bad fat as well. And slowly and gradually I learned what is good fat, what is bad fat. I learned about nutrition, and during that process I thought, why not do a certification on nutrition. So I started a course on fitness nutrition specialist. So guys, you'll be happy to know that I am already a certified fitness nutrition specialist, and at the same time I started another course from American Association of Diabetes Educators. So I am a certified diabetes educator as well. I started doing this course, and at the same time I reversed my diabetes within a year. You'll be surprised to know that I lost almost 10 kilos, 8 to 10 kilos within 3 months of following a ketogenic diet. And that was really very surprising for me, guys, because I was eating a lot of fat and I was not doing any calorie counting, and I lost my weight almost 8 to 10 kilos in 3 months. So for the first 4 or 5 months I was not losing any weight. I followed several diets, and in just 3 months following a ketogenic diet I lost almost 8 to 10 kilos. And I could suddenly one day I realized that my my trousers are very loose and it's falling down. And at that time I was wearing a 36-inch trouser, and then I realized that it has become too loose, and now I need 33-inch trouser. Almost 3 inch I lost in 3 months. So friends, I continued this for another 3 months, and I lost almost 17 kilos in that 6 months. Although the overall journey was 1 year, but initial 5-6 months I was not losing any weight, and in another 6 months I lost almost 17 kilos. So that was very shocking for me and surprising for me. And then after 1 year I went for a blood checkup once again, and my HbA1c was 6 at that point in time, and I tested a glucose tolerance test as well, and that was also within normal limits. The range was after 2 hours of glucose tolerance test, my blood sugar was less than 140. So I passed both the tests, and that's how I realized that I have reversed my type 2 diabetes. And that's how my journey of becoming a diabetes coach started. And as I said, that I already started doing that course from American Association of Diabetes Educators. So I continued that for some more time, and I passed that, and I'm certified diabetes educator now. So that is when I decided that I have to stop my job and I have to come back to the clinical practice and help people and treat people, and make them aware that type 2 diabetes can be reversed if you make if you change your lifestyle. You can reverse your diabetes. That was the story behind me becoming a diabetes coach. And almost a year back I left my job, and right now I am working as a full-time diabetes coach, and I'm also a certified fitness nutrition specialist. So I also work in the fitness area. If somebody wants to lose weight, somebody wants to build muscle, somebody wants to improve their athletic performance, so I guide people, I coach them in that aspect as well. So that was my journey from the corporate world to being a diabetes coach. Okay, guys. So that was a brief story about how I became a diabetes coach. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Wish you a very healthy life, and hope if you have type 2 diabetes, very soon you will be able to reverse your diabetes too. Thank you guys. Have a good day. Bye bye. Take care.